I feel like this is a repeated thing on the channel, but I think it's time we talk about Giannis because again, he is getting disrespected not only by the NBA media, but other people in the NBA in general, and I'm honestly sick of it at this point. With the accolades Giannis has at the young age of 26, it's insane to me how people are still doubting him, and I know the reasons, but at this point, it's frustrating. Because here you have a guy like Giannis who is gonna go down as a generational talent, a guy that has no problems, no conflict, nothing like that, but for some reason, the NBA media just does not fuck with him. The reason I'm even making this video is number one, a lot of you guys want me to talk about Giannis, which I can understand, and number two, for some reason, this man Tracy McGrady said something that really pissed me off. So of course, before I get into the content, if you guys could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new and notifications on. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Guys, we just hit 5,000 subscribers, and that is absolutely wild to me. I am making a vlog of a day in the life of me hitting 5,000 subscribers. That's going to be on my second channel, and by the time this video comes out, that vlog is also going to be out. The link to that video will be in the description below, or it'll just be in my pinned comment. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Today's video is brought to you by manscaped.com, but we're going to talk about them later on in the video. Now, I want to start this off by saying this. I made a video about a month ago talking about Giannis and why the NBA media hates him. It's one of my older videos, I will say, however, it is my most popular. And in that video, I did go into depth kind of why the NBA media hates him, and I'm going to bring up some points in this video, but I'm mainly going to focus on what Tracy McGrady has said and some other things that other people are saying. So if you do want to see an in-depth video about why people are actually hating on Giannis, the link will be in the description below. Now, I had to check my sources because if you guys don't know, there's a Twitter account by the name of Ballsack Sports, and it's a parody Twitter account that sometimes does say actual stuff and sometimes doesn't say real stuff, so it's like very confusing. And when I mean almost every single journalist has gotten fooled by this man at least once, I mean almost every journalist has been fooled by this man at least once. He's kind of like the newer version of a Darren Schefter, except he's not really impersonating anyone, it's just Ballsack Sports. But anyways, the reason why I bring them up is because when I saw this quote that was said by Tracy McGrady, I myself got pretty scared that this was actually real. Because if it turns out that this is Tracy McGrady himself saying these things, then I'm probably going to lose some respect for him. However, this is not a fake source, and I can confirm that this was actually on Shaq's podcast. So for context, Shaquille O'Neal was talking to Tracy McGrady just about Giannis in general and what he thought about him. Mind you, Shaq is someone that has praised Giannis many times, even passing the Superman torch to him. So on the podcast, Tracy McGrady said the following: if you can't shoot, it's going to be hard, and Giannis's game is predicted on coming downhill. He's developed a little bit of a jump shot now, but I think it would have been tough for him to be who he is today back then. I want to remind you guys that Giannis is one of the more dominant and one of the more bigger guys in the NBA, so the fact you're saying that he would have struggled back then is completely ridiculous. It's not like Giannis is a little body. The man is a goddamn behemoth amongst children. Let's also give some context. A guy like Kevin Garnett, who is obviously regarded as one of the more better big men of the 2000s, and even possibly one of the best big men of all time, was about 6'11", 240, which is 2 pounds off of Giannis. And obviously, if Kevin Garnett was to play in today's NBA in his prime, there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be just as good as Giannis, if not better. To be honest, Kevin Garnett is in my top 3 power forwards of all time, and I gotta say, Giannis is getting up there. It's not like Kevin Garnett is better by far, but it's like really close, and I think within like one season, Giannis could overtake him, but regardless, they're similar in stature. So I'm sorry, but saying that Giannis wouldn't do well back then is completely ridiculous. Let's also keep in mind that Giannis has improved his jumpers and his free throws and everything like that. With the intensity that Giannis plays with, there's no doubt in my mind that this man could dominate back then, and even if he was to get fouled and you're saying, oh, he would just get fouled in the paint and then he couldn't make his free throws, I'm sure Giannis would make his free throws. And you know what, since we're talking shit, let's talk shit. Giannis is the leading scorer in the NBA right now with about 29 points per game, and again, no one is talking about it. I heard one NBA analyst say that Giannis is barely a top 3 MVP candidate, and the gap between the 2 and the 3 spot for the MVP, which I believe he said DeMar DeRozan was number 2, isn't even close, which is completely ridiculous because every single season Giannis plays like an MVP candidate. Now, a lot of you guys know I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, and Mikal Bridges right now is second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, and obviously I would love if Mikal won it. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Even if he doesn't win MVP or Defensive Player of the Year at all. I don't care. Giannis is playing like a top 5 player easily, and I think within these next couple seasons, he's going to be regarded as the best player in the league. Now, Giannis has a similar problem to Nikola Jokic, and to most casuals, his game isn't pretty because he's not breaking ankles most of the time, he's not shooting 30-foot jumpers, he's just playing inside the paint, playing really good defense, and yes, he'll dunk on people every now and then, but it's not like Ja Morant almost posters, it's just straight up good basketball and him big bodying others. On top of that, Giannis doesn't come with any drama, he's just a straight up good dude that has no controversy around him. If anyone is going to be a great example for the league and for the young kids or just people in general, it's going to be Giannis. The man is talented, the man is a good person, and for some reason the NBA media just doesn't like talking about him. Again, it might just be the fact that Giannis has a quote-unquote boring game to some people, and maybe it's the fact that he's not from America exactly, because I've started to notice that the NBA media has a little bit of a bias for non-American players. I'm sorry, but this is fucking bullshit. How is Giannis going to play like an MVP candidate every single season? How is he going to lead his team to an NBA championship when people said he couldn't? How is he quietly becoming one of the best players of all time in NBA history, and we're just ignoring it like this is a normal thing? Let me just explain to y'all that the shit Giannis is doing is not normal. See, when Jordan came into the league, it didn't take many years for him to be really good. For LeBron, we already knew he was going to be that guy. Don't get me wrong, Giannis wasn't a bad player in his first couple seasons. However, it took until 2017, mind you, he was drafted around 2013, 2014, for him to even get started. Now Giannis is one of the best players in the NBA, and again, we're just acting like this happened overnight. The man has put in so much fucking hard work, he's an inspiration, which then again pisses me off at the comp that I saw a while back, and I've talked about this before, where they said Giannis can't be the face of the league because of his name. And again, I'm gonna say this, but say his fucking name, Giannis Antetokounmpo. God damn it, say his fucking name. We're acting like what he's doing is normal. We're acting like Giannis is just some regular player. Well, he's not a regular player. He's going to go down as one of the best. If Giannis is doing this every single season and isn't getting recognition, that's complete bullshit. Now, trust me, I have a lot more to say about Giannis in this video, but we're gonna take a quick break and talk about today's sponsor. Now, before we get into the rest of this video, hey y'all, this video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the #1 brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped has a variety of products, and one of my favorite has to be the Lawnmower 4.0 with 7,000 RPM and skin-safe technology. Now, I've been using Manscaped for about a couple months, and I gotta say, I've been very impressed with their products. In fact, I've been incorporating a lot of their stuff into my shower routine. One of my favorite things about Manscaped is the fact that their products are unisex, so anyone can use Manscaped products. They also do have stuff for other parts of your body, for example, like their 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. They even have body wash, like they have all the products you can need for your shower routine. Like I said earlier, I've been using Manscaped's products for about a couple months, ever since they sent them out to me, and I've been very impressed. Now, if you guys do want any products from Manscaped, then make sure you guys go to manscaped.com. The link is in the description below. However, if you do want to save some money, make sure you guys do use code Spex for 20% off plus international free shipping. Guys, that is code Spex for 20% off plus international free shipping. Thank you so much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video and the channel. Guys, your balls will thank you. I gotta say that there's no doubt in my mind that the most disrespected player in the NBA has to be Giannis, and for some reason the NBA media just loves doing that, and I could not tell you why. As an NBA YouTuber slash NBA analyst, whatever the hell you want to call me, I'm not supposed to be biased, I'm not supposed to take one person's side. However, that's not how we do shit here. On this channel, I like to be completely 100% honest, and I'm gonna be honest about Giannis. The NBA disrespecting him is the most ridiculous thing that I think I've ever seen. I've never seen a player as good as Giannis has been that has not gotten to controversy or any of these problems and just be wildly disrespected by others. I also want to remind you that the Milwaukee Bucks are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and yet again, we just forgot like they didn't just win the goddamn NBA championship. I remember the odds came out for the NBA championship at the beginning of the season. I remember seeing the NBA championship odds at the beginning of the season, and I just remember seeing the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks were number 3. The Milwaukee Bucks, the defending NBA champions, had the 3rd best fucking odds. Meanwhile, the favorites were the Los Angeles Lakers, who, mind you, the year before lost in the first round, and the Brooklyn Nets, who lost to the Bucks. I mean, then again, Phoenix didn't even crack the top 5 with plus 1600 odds, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous to me. But I guess at this point, we're just gonna disrespect NBA teams, because now that we're about halfway throughout the season and the All-Star break is here, the #1 team in the NBA is the Suns, and the #1 team in the East is the Bucks. And I don't mean just standings, because in the Western Conference, obviously the Phoenix Suns are the #1 team, and the Milwaukee Bucks are around the top 3, top 4 seed in the East. However, if there is one person in the Eastern Conference I don't want to mess with, and it is a playoff Giannis. Seriously, can I ask a question? How many fucking times is Giannis gonna do something well? How many times is Giannis gonna be the best player in the NBA and we're gonna ignore it? What is it gonna take for you casual NBA analysts and NBA YouTubers to fucking cover this man because you have a bias against him? Apparently, I'm just one of the few NBA analysts in this world that are giving Giannis the credit he deserves, because apparently we don't like giving credit to Giannis for some fucking reason. At the end of the day, Giannis is the most disrespected player in the NBA, and I've made several videos about that, and I'm gonna keep doing it until he gets his flowers. We are at the All-Star break, and a team like the Phoenix Suns, who I've covered so many times and I've kind of been known for covering them, are finally being somewhat covered by the national media. Not a whole lot. They're still not being talked about a lot, even though they're the best team in basketball. But shit, we're fucking getting there. And you know what? I'm gonna keep doing the same for Giannis, because Giannis by far is the best player in the NBA that gets disrespected. I will never understand why Giannis gets the disrespect that he does, because at this point it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, maybe the NBA media just doesn't like to talk about players from overseas like Giannis and Nikola Jokic, who are by far the two most disrespected players in the NBA. Hey, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, fucking Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Nick Wright, all of you guys, how about we stop milking LeBron James for fucking views and talk about good basketball? Because apparently y'all just fucking forgot what that was. God damn, man.